What's poppin', guys? Another episode of Here Comes the Good Part. As you can tell by my tone and my posture, I'm not in a very good place. Last week was a really rough week for the kid. Man, navigating business, and this is my first time going through a lot of these processes, and you're gonna make mistakes. And I was talking to my accountant 2 weeks ago, and he told me, he was like, you're gonna make mistakes, but you're in a good space, and most everything can be resolved. Along with that, I do a lot of reading, listening to podcasts and stuff like that. And I think I forget whatever it was I was reading, but when you write down your goals and you write out what could be the worst thing that could happen, how will it affect you a week from now, a month from now, a year from now, 5 years from now. So last week, I felt like everything was gonna go downhill. Talked to my accountant. Basically what happened was I messed up some money protocols being funded by a government loan. So full disclosure, I leveraged my know-how, my credit, my certification as a holistic nutritionist to get the funding for my own juice bar. So I had some money, I had some skin in the game. I put together a business plan, and I didn't earn it bottle by bottle selling juice. Juice is a value in business. You gotta sell a lot to make money. So the money I did make and the leverage I did have by having good credit over the years gave me the opportunity to close in and seize in on the business plan and the patience I had to do the business plan. And basically, they approved my business plan and funded the loan. So let me jump in right here. This is a quick edit. I want to expound on that whole business plan, government funding, all that situation. Now, there's no one way to do business, okay? The path to business and success for each and every entrepreneur is gonna be different, okay? Some people tell you they got it out the mud, and that makes you think, and they get praised for that, and they should. And I feel the same way. I understand that. I connect and relate to that type of story. But when you hear about somebody that say they got out the mud, you think they really started from absolute zero, right? And got it hand over fist and earned every dollar and put every dollar back in. And that's typically what it is to get it out the mud. Then you hear some people say, don't spend your own money if you don't have to. And most people who don't have good credit or understand how money works don't believe in that process or don't understand that whole don't spend your own money. There are times where it's advantageous to not spend your own money, and then there's times where you should be spending your own money. So you may see this video and you say, oh, well, he got a loan to start his business. Well, if I'm trying to accelerate the process to making money, and I'm telling you that this is a value in business, which means, yeah, I had opportunities to do open juice bars in inside of a gym or whatever, but it's not mine. It's not my business. It's not my presentation to the world, and it doesn't maximize the way I can do business by having a satellite set up in a gym or setting up at a farmer's market. No, the way to maximize on my potential and level and multiple streams of income is for me to have my own place, my own juice bar, my own health cafe, where I can introduce the products I want, build services around the platform of having a tangible store. You have to remember what are the best selling points for the business that you have. If you're getting it out the mud, you think of who are the people that's buying from you? What makes them believe in your process and the product or service that you're offering from out the mud? Well, in this case, in health food products, people need to see it. People need to touch it. They need to feel it. And I need to give them a place and experience where they can come feel it. So I need to leapfrog that whole bottle after bottle, pop-up after pop-up, satellite situation after satellite situation. That's cool. That don't fit my business model for what my goal is. So if you ask me and a lot of others that may have had investor funding or whatever, they still got it out the mud because all the intellectual property, all the business planning, all the product quality assurance and quality control for my juices, for the cold press juice, for the smoothies, for the food, for the designs, to all that's out the mud. That came out of whatever skill set I have or whoever else may have that I may have hired to do something for. So just understand that everybody's process is not going to be the same. You listen a lot to Dame. I listen a lot to Dame Dash, but if you ever watch his videos and he talks about being independent, it's still all independently on me. A lot of the money came out of my pocket, then a lot of it got funded, and so I'm still responsible for that money. The same way Dame loaned money to what's the producer name? I forget his name. Daniel, but the guy who produced Precious and all that type of stuff. He need money to get the movie done, right? Dame gave him $2 million. The same way Dame rather partner with somebody or have somebody front the money for something that ain't the process that Dame go through. Dame put all his money up. He'd rather keep his money in the street, as he say. In my case, I had all my money in the street, but I can't get down the block without more money. But all the money I got is on me because of my skill set, because of my credit, because of how I'm able to manage funds in a certain way. So I just wanted to jump in and share that because there's different ways of getting it out the mud. And as you get older or more mature and more savvy in how you manage money, you'll realize that having credit is beneficial. Now, there are some people who absolutely don't believe in using credit, and that is fine. There's nothing wrong with that at all. But if you're thinking about the way you want to run your business, if you're thinking about how to accelerate your business, if you have very specific plans and goals, which I do have, then you'll know what is advantageous for you or what your timeline is like. If you don't want to ever use credit, it's going to take you a little bit longer. If you do want to use credit, you can get to a certain goal faster. Or it may take you just as long depending on how you work it. But I feel it's important for me to jump in and share that. Sorry that took so long in the video. Back to the rest. There's certain protocols that need to take place for you to get funding. And my project is not the typical project that they would fund. It's just that it's a very worthwhile project, right? According to my research and the trend of businesses and the health boom in the United States, it's worth them doing it. But it's a lot smaller scale than what they're used to. So the procedures are just weird and different, and it's throwing me through loops. And basically I messed some stuff up. Nothing that can't be recovered, even though it felt like it the day that it happened. And it just really sucked. So I had to go back and fix that, which is putting a hold on what I thought my opening date would be. I don't know for sure that it's going to be pushed back too much, but I'm just not feeling good about it because of the way it happened. On top of that, I made another mistake with my own personal business, my own personal finances, that really threw me through a loop, and it was just because I may not necessarily have been overworked, but I can tell like I wasn't focused, and I slipped up and paid on something that I wasn't supposed to. And when it comes to creditors and business and whatever, it could be Apple. You buy an app and you want to get a refund, you ain't getting that refund back as fast as you paid for it. So I'm in one of those situations where now I got tapped accounts that I don't normally use because I spent money that I don't normally spend. So it's just been a really rough week, man. Then the whole Kobe Bryant, unfortunately, untimely passing with him, his daughter, and all the teammates and parents that were on that helicopter, that really messed me up because I watched a lot of Kobe interviews to sharpen my Mamba mentality. And I feel like Kobe has really given a lot, not just on the court, but off the court. So that just like ended the week on a low note. But it also was my mom's birthday, the same day the day before, when Kobe passed, my mother's birthday is the next day. So my mother and I were together during that time, and it just made me appreciate the fact that I could be there with her more. And I talked to her a lot about doing this business. I'm emotional about the whole Kobe and then being with my mom, but she and I talked about my future years and years ago, and I knew I wanted to do something like this for her. Like, this is part of her legacy too. I always make jokes about mine. You're gonna spend the money we make at the juice bar anyway, but I really do this for her because I don't have children yet. So she is a part of my legacy as well as whoever comes after me. But before you can leave a legacy, man, you're gonna make mistakes. And I made a big mistake, and now I gotta fix it, and I need to fix it in a timely manner so that we can get back on point and back on pace to get open in the time that I want to get open. So it's the end of January. I feel like I should be able to clean this up within the next few days and try to get back on pace starting the first week of February. We'll see, but this is just a lesson to be learned. Also, my book tip and my energy spirit tip, my spiritual tip is read The Energy of Money. And Energy of Money really helped align my focus years ago on how I approach dealing with money. But it's more about your energy and your spirit. It's about leaving open loops, having energy leaks, because you have money leaks the same way you have energy leaks. You keep giving time to something that you're not taking account for, or you're losing money on something you're not taking account for. It's all the same thing. So there's something going on that's making me, there's probably something else that corresponds in my life that I keep overlooking, the same way I overlooked these two mishaps with my personal finances and how I managed the government funding, which was an honest mistake. I mean, the bank isn't mad at me. They aren't mad at me. It's just not how they normally do things. So I gotta go back and make it right, and then we can get back on track for what we were doing. And part of it was me being hasty, but also I just didn't know any better, and they don't blame me for that. So especially when I'm in a position to be able to make it right. And that's what it's like to be an entrepreneur, man. It all comes down on you. Like, everybody want to be the boss until they hand over the bills, right? So I signed up for it, and my name is on the dotted line, so I'm going to clean it up because I got a legacy to build, and that's the way you go through it. So, Good Parting Company, Health Cafe and Juice Bar and Health Cafe, the brand Good Parting Company is still coming. We got a few setbacks. We had some setbacks in the 2019. We got some setbacks beginning of 2020. But it's not knocking me off track because I know what the goal is. Nobody is disabled. The business is still booming, so we can go.